Ever since I started this YouTube channel, I've been on a quest to find the best opening repertoire in all of chess. But it got me thinking, why reinvent the wheel? Of course, you could find a million different courses online telling you what certain grandmasters play in their games, but I wanted to take it a step further. In today's video, I'll be taking Magnus Carlsen's entire opening repertoire and memorizing every single variation. Once I've learnt all the theory, I'm going to be taking on players in the chess.com pool to test out the repertoire. I'll be playing 14 games of rapid chess to emulate what it would be like to play in a tournament like the candidates, just so we get a good variety of openings. But with all that being said, what does Magnus Carlsen actually play? Okay, before we can actually study any of these openings, we need to compile a list of what Magnus Carlsen would play in his regular classical games. A small problem with Magnus Carlsen's repertoire is that he just plays multiple openings. For example, against e4, he plays e5 and c5 a comparable amount. It wouldn't make too much sense for me to learn multiple openings just to never show some of them in this video, so I'll just try to pick an opening he's more known for in these cases. It's also probably easier if I just list all of the opening variations that I need to learn for his repertoire, so let's list them. With the black pieces, I'll be playing the Berlin Defense, Joko Piano, Queen's Gambit Declined, and Closed Catalan. And with the white pieces, we'll play the Roy Lopez, Knight C3 Caro-Kann, Tarrasch French, Rossolimo Sicilian, and the Catalan. Now obviously I could never properly 100% replicate Magnus Carlsen's repertoire. Grandmasters switch up their opening repertoire all the time to surprise their opponents. Not to mention I'm just never going to memorize every single line in his repertoire either. Magnus Carlsen has 1000 FIDE rating on me, so you can probably cut me some slack. It's also worth mentioning that we didn't include a couple of openings like the Dutch Defense, for example. A lot of openings just don't occur at Magnus Carlsen's level, so we're going to have to fill in some gaps here and there. By the way, this is absolutely not me getting out of studying more openings for this video, this is just the way that the cookie crumbles and you guys are gonna have to deal with it. Now, out of the openings we discussed, I already know the Queen's Gambit Declined, Closed Catalan, Roy Lopez, and Catalan. However, I need to study the Berlin Defense, Joko Piano, Knight C3 Caro-Kann, Tarrasch French, and Rossolimo. So over the weekend, whilst everyone else my age was out seeing friends or going to parties, I spent the weekend learning the opening repertoire of a man that doesn't know I exist. Luckily for me though, this process was made a lot easier because of the sponsor of today's video, ChessMind.ai. Most courses obsess over memorizing hundreds of opening lines, but ChessMind is built around something different, understanding positions and not just remembering moves. The goal isn't just to know theory, it's to know what to do when theory runs out. That's why the courses on ChessMind only take around an hour to complete, because the priority isn't on memorization, it's positional understanding. For just $7 per month, you can unlock over 50 courses on ChessMind, plus access to their AI coach, personalized puzzles, and training videos hosted by Chilean Grandmaster Maurizio Flores. And with the link in the description, you guys can get 20% off your purchase too. And with the power of editing, around 20 painfully long hours of studying chess openings is magically turned into just a few seconds. If you want to continue my suffering and see more of these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel because we're almost at 50,000 subscribers, and I want that 100,000 subscriber YouTube plaque so my YouTube career looks at least somewhat impressive. Anyway, now that we've learned all of the openings, it's time to put everything into practice. To properly test Magnus Carlsen's opening repertoire, we need to put it to work against some serious chess players. So now it's time to introduce the biggest spectacle in the world of chess, the 2026 Candidates Tournament. In this tournament, I'll be playing against random players in the chess.com pool who have no idea they're going to be a part of this video for the grand prize of absolutely $0. The time control will be 10 minutes, however we obviously won't show every game in the video because we all know you guys don't have the attention span for that, but I'll make sure you guys don't miss anything. In his last Candidates Tournament in 2013, Magnus Carlsen scored 8.5 points out of a possible 14. So if I can't replicate his success at the end of the video, I'll have to do a mystery forfeit. So stay till the end of the video to see that. But let's answer the question. Can Magnus Carlsen's opening repertoire carry me to victory in the most prestigious tournament in all of chess? Let's find out. Okay, so we've got our first game here with the white side. We need a win, we need to start things off strong, and I'm wondering what to play. I think to get a good start, let's just go for d4. I'm very comfortable, and we're gonna have to go into Magnus's French defense theory with knight d2, the Tarrasch variation of the French, something that I've studied a little bit, not a lot. Okay, actually, amazing. Okay, I don't know, I don't know what that is. I think knight c3 and just going back and getting our bishop out, maybe even long castling now, could be the right way to go. Let's just get another knight out, why not? Looking to dive into e5, defending a lot of squares. It looks like he wants to castle long. Knight e5 does threaten knight g6, which kind of forces his hand and doesn't allow him to castle this way. It forces him to, and this is great kind of information for us. So I think knight e5 is gonna be what I want to do. He plays bishop d6. I'm not worried about that move at all because I have knight g6, and now he's not gonna be able to castle on that side of the board, and we can probably castle on that side of the board, to be honest. I don't really see a reason not to. Let's play bishop c4. Don't mind this move at all, just a very active move. x-rays the rook. I'm a little bit concerned about king f7, but I mean, knight h4 just looks very good. Also, do I need to, because I don't want to go here, because then takes, king takes, you know, I don't think we can let him take. So let's go knight h4 and wrap the knight back around this way. Wow. What was that? Oh, there was the threat of this. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, this just is a threat, no? Queen e2. I'm threatening things. Move I wanted to play anyway, queen e2. Centralizing my queen, attacking the e6 pawn. We're also ready to play bishop d2 and long castles, and I think, you know what, dare I say it, first win. Okay, so he wants to do this, but I get the desperado, so this would not work. So I'm winning. Wait, what? Takes, he takes a free piece, I take, he takes, I take? There's gotta be some nicer way to do this actually. Takes, pawn takes. Do I have to rush? I feel like there's a better way to do all of this. Like, I've got this check first. Maybe that's an improvement. Yeah, this check seems nicer. Okay. Luckily, I didn't rush, because this is quite an obvious move that you guys would have gotten really mad at me for missing. Let's go ahead and check, and then bring his king down, and then I'll take. And then, if you take, I take and protect. And if you take, ugh. Jeez, I don't even want to think about what happens if you take. But let's check first. I think checking first is just a no-brainer. Let's go for it. Check and drag the king down into the depths of this position. And I'm thinking maybe takes, or maybe even check here first. I could roll his rook into a really annoying position. If I check here takes. I don't really like that at all. I'm wondering which is better. Distracting the rook like this, or just taking? I think taking must be better, right? Let's take. I think we have to. Now he's taken like that, and I was thinking maybe knight g3, preparing this check. I thought it looked interesting, at least. There is also the prospect of sacrificing the knights, but I think we should keep it simple. I know I did just say that knight g3 was a bad move typically, but it comes with a threat. Oh, this is actually really difficult. Takes, queen takes. Maybe knight c3 back. Is knight c3 back crazy? Okay, let's go knight c3 back. And we're kind of just back into the position we had before. If takes, we can actually not go takes because we lose. Takes, there is this pin, not fun. Bishop d2 is what I was looking for before. Let's go bishop d2 and long castle, and I feel like this king is just very, very targetable. I can do a lot of things to this king, I feel. Like, I'm ready to play maybe h4, h5 just looks very menacing. Maybe I can even play bishop d3 and g4, exploiting the pin. If I go castles, takes, and here, with my point being that, you know, if you play something like c4, I'm gonna play g4. There is also the possibility of me playing d5. I'm gonna castle and I'm gonna sacrifice my pawn. Why not? We've got 3 minutes 30. Magnus Carlsen would definitely do this. He would only do it if it's right, but I'm gonna assume that I'm right here. And I'm gonna temper him here. And considering this is such an imbalanced, volatile game, I'm gonna kind of bet that I can play g4 at some stage, take advantage of this pin, and think 100 moves ahead, because that's exactly what Magnus Carlsen does, and g4. And I'm starting my attack. I'm launching my attack by opening up the files to a very vulnerable king. Now, we don't even have to take, because taking kind of allows him to do a little bit of shenanigans here. So maybe taking is actually not so bad. Takes. Or maybe it's, maybe I can go h5 or h4. No, taking feels okay, maybe. Takes, if knight takes, he's just opened up my file. Let's go takes. Let's not overcomplicate it. Let's just do. Okay, so I've got rook e1, which I quite like as a move. Rook e1, the idea is obviously we're just targeting this e7 pawn. Ooh, I don't know if that's a good move, my friend, because don't I just have takes? No, I don't. I don't have takes. Damn, okay. What about rook g1? No, I don't have that. Knight e4. If knight e4 is gonna go back, let's go knight e4. We need to get this piece active, and maybe the bishop can go on the c3 square. I also have to really hurry up because my opponent's not taken much time, and I've only got 2 minutes left. So we have to be very, very careful about what we do here, but considering the imbalance of the game, I think we should be okay. They also don't have to move their bishop, I've realized. They can just, like, be a little bit patient with it. But, you know, I'm ready to play something like bishop c3, so maybe they can even play bishop e5. Okay, they do play this. Let's avoid the queen trade and play queen h3. And we're obviously looking to play bishop c3. And maybe we even have some bishop c3 and knight f6 ideas. Maybe there's this. Knight g5 now. Opens up and we're attacking this pawn even more. Okay, I feel like that's a weird queen move. I feel like you've just done nothing there. But I also have this. This is almost too good to not go for. Now let's go for this. We've got too many nice ideas here, and I really like this f7 check as well. You know, worst case scenario, the light squares around the king are so weak because this bishop is trapped. What about king g8? Okay, he plays this, which I didn't think was actually a very good variation. I don't want to take because that gives him some things to look forward to in the position. Let's go with this check. Oh my god, can I sack the queen? Please tell me I can. Here, check. If he goes here, I get mate. Here, check. If he goes back, nothing. Okay, that's sad. Let's drop the knight back. Let's be patient with it. Maybe I could have taken even... Like, I have a bishop here that's eyeing up this square. I need to get rid of this knight somehow, but I just don't have the pieces. I really need this rook to be on g1. Oh my god, I have 40 seconds. Oh my days. Okay, let's lock in. We've got great control over everything. We must have a winning attack here. Okay, let's just go rook g1. I didn't even think about that one. Okay, he's making some inroads. Got this check to look forward to now because the rook is opened up and supporting the queen. Let's go check. Oh, it's actually also pinned to the b2 square. So maybe I need to play something like bishop d3 next to allow for this check. This check would also be nice, picking up the rook, but obviously it's not possible. Yeah, check also just opens up this, so check he'll probably have to take unless he does something about it, which I'm not sure there is anything to do about it. Yeah, he has to take straight away. And this is blockaded. Wow, okay. Let's go with this. I think he's going to try and trade off my bishop, but this is not really a useful part of my attack anymore, I don't think. Maybe I should have gone bishop here. Okay, let's just move pieces around. Let's just keep going. Takes doesn't work because rook takes first. And now I kind of just want bishop here. And I've got this pin. If I can get rid of this, I can go here. Takes. And I've got the tactic. Check. Check here. Oh my god, there's Oh, I don't have the time. No. Wait, I do. No, it is mate. Oh my god, what am I talking about? It's checkmate. With 3 seconds on my clock. Okay, that is exactly what we needed. I complicated that game way too much. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to be playing for wins and not playing for YouTube content. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make things way too interesting for my own good. I shouldn't pre-move this either because there was another move and I don't want to flag. But a great game to start off with. Okay, now obviously we won't show all 14 games, but in game 2 we played a Russellimo where my opponent played queen b6 on move 3, which is of course a variation I didn't study. But we cruised along in a solid position until rook g1 with some tricky ideas for white. Rook g2 might work. Rook g2, if he takes, I'm gonna take here. If he takes, I have check here, check. Wow. Knight takes. What a way to win this game. I don't know if it is a win. I hope it's a win. But forking the 2 pieces, if you take, I have this check, and if you go up, I have this check, and if you block, I have this check, and if you block, I have checkmate. That's exactly what Magnus Carlsen would have done in this position. He would have found that move, because that's the kind of player he is, and it's the kind of repertoire he has. Damn. Okay, amazing. He took, so we can check here, and the rook is holding the necessary squares, and we're gonna get a nice, cheeky little checkmate in just a second. Queen will block, we will check, and we get the classic, I don't know if this mate has a name, but we'll get the classic whatever checkmate this is. And this is so good. 2 wins in a row. We did get 2, oh no, we didn't get, no, we did get 2 white games in a row. So we are due for some black games, but 2 wins out of 14. We only need 6.5 more points, and then we've completed this challenge. In the 3rd game, my opponent of course plays an opening Magnus Carlsen would never have to verse in classical chess, the Blackmar Gambit. Now, I want to prioritize showing openings Magnus is actually known for in this video, so my editors will show you a lovely time-lapse of me dunking on my opponent, dragging him through the depths of despair in an endgame, and masterfully trapping his rook to end the game. In the 4th game, my opponent played the Caro-Kann defense, which Magnus is somewhat known for playing knight c3 against. However, my opponent decided to do this straight after the opening. I'm gonna say I have g4. g4 on the board, I'm just gonna say I have it. You've gotta say it, and then it comes... Oh, really? Really? He's typing to me in chat. Okay, yeah, we're gonna win this game. The Mikhail Tal profile picture did not save my opponent on this case. This is what Magnus would be doing in the candidates right now. He would be on 4 out of 4, and we've just gone 4 for 4 as well. 4 out of 4 so far, and we're looking like we'll be avoiding the mystery forfeit. But game 5 had something else in store for us. My opponent played a Queen's Gambit declined, and the game that's about to be played was anything but straightforward. Okay, so we have another game, and we've finally got a game with the black pieces. And we get to play d4, okay? And it's a little bit kind of, you know, this doesn't usually happen, knight f3, again at the classical level, it's not so common. So we're just gonna kind of follow the main lines. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not a part of Magnus Carlsen's repertoire. So we're just gonna kind of play what I think are the best moves in this position, and I think c5 is a good place to start, kind of shredding open the center and looking to play knight c6. Let's go ahead and play knight c6. Wow, okay. I reckon I'm gonna take in the center. Very unorthodox way of playing, and then I'm gonna play bishop f5. This feels like the easiest way to continue. Wow, okay. I guess we go ahead and take his bishop on d3, and then we play e6. Let's play e6, bishop d6. There's also bishop b4 check. I like bishop d6. We do lose sight of the d file, but I think it's fine. Castle's castle, should be okay. Okay, let's play a6, and I want to play for b5. I also want to play a little bit quicker this game. And b5, right? Ready to play rook c8. We're kind of somewhat stopping this threat. So why not just play rook c8 and get some tempo on our side? He does have this, but if I take, he's just got a bishop that's boxed in and doing nothing. So I'm actually somewhat confident to take and maybe try and wrap some pieces around. Ooh, I could go queen b6 and look to get some sacrificing ideas on e5 because of the pin. There's also, again, the obvious possibility of just playing f6. Let's go f5. I quite like f5. Wow, he actually let me lock it. I assume he's thinking about playing g4. I like g5, and I'm not really weakening anything. Let's bring a knight back. Let's open up the scope of my rook, bring the knight to g6. And again, I'm very happy with this position, actually. I think it was not so great for a little while, but we're doing quite well now. Knight f3 is going to be met with h6. Okay, he moves his knight out of the position. I feel like I should be bringing my king up. I want to go king h7. I feel like this is an improvement. Wow. Well, my knight didn't have a job before, but you've certainly given it one. So this knight finally has a role because you've just made a big light squared hole. I can just focus on this side of the board, which I think I'm kind of dominating in right now. Okay, I think we don't want to take back with a pawn. We leave him too many options, so let's take back with a rook. I think I would go as far as to say this is just a bad bishop. I mean, you've got all these pawns on the dark squares on this side of the board. Let's play a5. If he takes, he's just giving me targets. Okay, and we shut down that side of the board. Didn't want to play over here anyway, so I've shut this all off, frozen it down, and maybe now we even just make sure that this bishop is glued here. We don't want it, you know, this bishop is never getting good because it has to stay defending. Moving the king over might be useful, actually, because I don't want this to be a pin. This is not a problem anymore because it's completely frozen. He wants to go here. I feel like he might be too invested in this side of the board, and he might miss knight takes e5. Ah, he doesn't. Okay, king h8 here. I think we go king h8 again, yeah. Ooh, it's giving me the opportunity to maybe play... Oh, he's not. Let's play king g7. Okay, let's go king h7. Let's repeat the position once. Just wasted a move, because now I don't really want to play f4 because it opens up the pin. Here. Actually, I kind of like this. I kind of like here, and then I like playing f4. Okay, I like playing f4. I like the idea of it. If he plays this... Well, I don't know. Do I want to trade off a pair of rooks first? Probably not. Maybe I do, actually. Nice tempo. Yeah, this is obviously a problem. I've also got the potential to play rook e4. I just want to go here. And I think queen e8 and like queen h5 might be nice too. Or even like queen c8 and just sacrifice the exchange somehow. Let's go here. And you could go here, but then queen c8. Wow, he's actually done this. Okay, let's go here, and I want... You can't go there. So I want this. Is this winning? Am I just winning this bishop here? I think I am, and I think I've kind of clutched up this endgame. Ooh, I didn't see that move. Oh wow, we've got to move. Holy, I just saw my time. I knew he was going to do that. Let's get this back. No, I'm gonna lose on time. You're kidding me. Oh my god, there's no way I flag this guy, right? No! In game 6, in what will be a continual quest to actually play a Roy Lopez game in this video, we ended up playing a Rossolimo Sicilian again, and in true Magnus Carlsen fashion, I masterfully coaxed my opponent into a tight endgame to try and get another win on the board. So let's go into this queenless endgame, where I think I should be slightly better.
because of my pass pawn, although it's very difficult to tell, as always. If he plays f6, I actually get the tempo of knight g6. And after the obvious rook d8, I get takes. Okay, I like f4 here. Just saying, no thank you. I'm gonna hold on to that knight. That knight's important to me. I also could have played rook e1, but yeah, the idea is f3, f6, here. Ooh, actually, at g6, there is this, which is probably quite annoying. But then I have check, and if you go here, I have check. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Okay, he might actually fall for that, because that's kind of advanced. He doesn't fall for it. That's great. I've got takes, of course. Takes here. Check doesn't really do anything, unfortunately. Yeah, my worry is that this is very open now, which I don't love. So maybe I can play rook e1. I've always got this move, I guess. Maybe I've got rook d1, actually. And if you take, I've got check. Takes here. Yeah, let's go rook d1. I actually quite like this move a lot. Doesn't let you take like this. And if you go here, of course, same thing. I'm picking up something. Maybe it does, actually. Takes here, and you've got this. No, but I have this check that saves it. Do I actually have something better, even? Yeah, I probably have this to completely just destroy his hopes and dreams. No, I don't. Takes he goes here. Right, let's be very careful about what we do. Let's go here, make sure we don't blunder this. Now let's take. Now let's check. And now let's take. Wow. Very nice game, and we get that 5th win that we so desired.
But game 7 is where my opponent really tested me, because I had to play the weakest point of my black repertoire, e4, e5. See, I've only ever played the Caro-Kann and Sicilian defense against e4, and although Magnus does technically play these openings, I thought the video would be a bit of a cop-out if I just pretended he didn't play e5 as well. Luckily for me, my opponent played the Vienna, to which Magnus Carlsen often plays the Max Lange defense with knight c6. And in very uncharacteristic Magnus fashion, in what was otherwise a very uneventful game, I ended up hanging a fork and losing my knight, and consequently the game.
You're absolutely kidding me.
It was at this point I realized if I kept playing like this, all of the comments were going to make fun of me for being bad at chess. So in game 8, I decided to lock in. To be completely honest, in our next game, in the most theoretical opening in all of chess, the Sicilian Najdorf English attack, the chess speaks for itself.
Okay, so we have the 8th game that we're going to play. My opponent appears to be offline. Let's go ahead and play e4. I feel like we've played a couple of d4s. Let's go with another Roy Lopez, hopefully. Actually, we haven't gotten a Roy Lopez yet, because our opponent keeps playing the Sicilian. Okay, I guess we're playing a Sicilian. Let's go knight f3. And we've got the bishop, the d6 variation, which I'm pretty sure Magnus just plays mainline stuff with d4. He plays knight c3, and yeah, we get the Najdorf. So Magnus typically plays bishop d3 here, I believe. Does he play bishop d3 or does he play bishop e2? I think he plays bishop e3, plays the English attack. And my knowledge of theory doesn't go too far beyond this point. So I'm pretty sure he drops back to b3 because you want to like maybe leave the door open for f3. So let's go knight b3 here. Am I going to get b5 on the board? Okay, they played bishop e6. Interesting move. I think I'm just going to go for bishop e2 and look to short castle pretty quick. I've actually also remembered in this kind of opening, you can play for f3 and g4. So maybe I should do that instead. I'm going to play f3 because it's a move I want to play anyway. And then we're going to stay flexible with g4. Okay, so they've played h5 to stop it. So what is their game plan going to be? Bishop e7 and castles? Where is their attack? I don't really see it. I think I should castle, bishop e7, and then I think I should be going for f4, right? That seems logical. Let's go for castles, and f4 is the idea now. We've made them commit here with this h5 move. I might even, like, bishop e7, you could even throw in h3. If they castle, you play f4 with the attack on h5. But I'm pretty sure if you play f4, they almost have to take, right? Otherwise, this bishop's just getting shoved into oblivion. Let's go f4. They could take here. They do take like this. Which way do I want to take? I would imagine taking like this, so we have an attack on the d6 pawn. And I'm very, very happy about my position, to be honest. There's this check. Okay, knight there is a good move. There's still always this that I'm looking out for. There's king h1, getting out of this queen b6 idea. If knight here, yeah, I just dropped this pawn. Let's play the prophylactic king h1. And now black, what do you do? What is black trying to do here? Do they want to castle and drop this pawn? Probably not. I don't think they can really drop anything on g4 because I'm just going to play h3. Unless that's their plan and they want to just never castle. Yeah, h3 is probably just never going to castle, right? Well, the good news is I don't actually have to play h3. I can also play this move, knight d4, and inch my knight closer to the position, attacking this light squared bishop. Now the bishop really has nowhere to go. Like, it doesn't really want to go back. Can't go to any of these squares. And, you know, if I take, I'm damaging the structure significantly. If they castle, h3 suddenly opens up, and you have to move that knight. And I'm also going to win that h5 pawn. It's a very Magnus-esque game, I feel. I feel like this is the kind of position Magnus would find himself in. Queen b6. Is there a way to punish this? So obviously the idea is he's eyeing up this f2 square. There might be knight a4. Don't really think so. If I take here, I'm just not happy about that. We play h3 now. I could also possibly play bishop f3. This is like a decent possibility. Just adding extra defense to this pawn. And again, asking black, what do you actually want to do here? So if I go here and you take, I'm gonna play queen d2. And I'm pretty sure I'm actually in pretty good shape there. What does b5 come? Rook b1. Yeah, let's go bishop f3. Just allowing our c3 knight to move at some stage without blundering the e4 pawn. Okay, he drops his bishop back. He doesn't want me to take it. Okay, so he's just playing this very, very slowly. Now we could dive in with our knight. There's also maybe like an e5 at some stage. e5 not now, it just blunders the fork. But what about something like knight d5? There's also like queen d3. Queen d3 is interesting, actually. I quite like queen d3 because it kind of prepares this rook b1 idea, queen b3, and it also just activates the queen a little bit more. And it also allows me to possibly take here and not be tempered. So queen d3, another kind of prophylactic move. Just activating our pieces and getting our position a little bit better than it was before. And again, asking black, what are you actually trying to do? Because if you castle, I've got something to attack immediately. It's just a slow little, you know, puzzle of getting our pieces to attack this king until we eventually force him to castle. And I think we must be better. I feel like maybe I'm misinterpreting the position, but it does feel like white should be significantly better here. I would say almost +1. It feels like this position is for white. Wow. King f8 doesn't want a castle because he wants to keep the pressure on here. Damn, that's a move. I mean, rook e1. Why not rook e1, right? Like, again, rook e1, and what is your progress? Like, sure you've, like, dealt with your king's safety a little bit, but what is your progress beyond that? This is my least active piece, by the way. The rook was my least active piece. Now my knight on c3 is my least active piece. So I'm considering just bringing it to the party, keeping up this positional pressure. Okay, he fixes his least active piece. Now let's have a think. Okay, what about knight d5? Knight d5, I'm a little worried about bishop b5. Takes, queen takes, pawn takes, king takes, h3. This should be fine. It also hits the queen, which is nice. Here, let's say queen takes. Let's say here. Yeah, I think this might actually just be winning soon, right? Because you almost have to take. And if you don't take, I drag your king back to the center. Maybe you have queen d8, but even still, I would imagine that I have e5. Okay, he takes straight away. How interesting. When he does have this bishop f6 move that I missed, I'm almost like very inclined to just sacrifice the exchange here, like, and take with the rook on f2 and allow this. Like, he's gonna play this, and I'm thinking that I just let him, right? I'm thinking that I just move this knight somewhere and let him have this. Take, bishop takes, knight up. Very good. Let's say takes, bishop takes, knight up, bishop takes, queen takes. All right, now he's gonna move the rook. He takes there, I'm gonna go queen here, and I'm surely winning. I'm gonna take with the bishop and play knight f5. I think this is the way to go. If he takes like this, it doesn't make much of a difference. I'm still going to drop my knight into f5. And I think my position's slowly starting to make sense, and you know, even though there's a couple pawns loose at the end of any position, the king is in the center. That's the main thing. And this rook, you've not justified this rook being where it is because, you know, I mean, unless you open the file now, that's like a slight justification, but I'm gonna go after this pawn now. Takes, I'm attacking this rook. If you go here, I go here, and I'm attacking both, and it's just, it looks very good. I'm also attacking this pawn, which shouldn't mean too much, but I mean, it is a characteristic of the position nonetheless. There's no bishop e5. Wow, okay. He's done it that way. We could go ahead and maybe just play c3 now. Just like be very, very patient. c3 and like the positional edge is still there, right? I mean, how does he defend this pawn? So many questions in the position that he just can't really answer. There's potentially c3 and here, but then maybe I have g3. Oh, do I have check? Oh, I do have check. That's nice. But then he just shuffles over, actually. Maybe I should be more careful about this. Then I do have bishop e7. Takes, and I do have takes. Wow. Bishop check. If he takes, I take the rook. If he shuffles over, I have bishop e7, hitting the queen. If he takes with the queen, I obviously just take the rook. I could take the queen as well. Takes with the bishop, I take with the rook, threatening checkmate. And if he takes with the queen, I take the rook for free, and I win back the rook. Wow.
Oh my god. I don't know if this is me doing this or Magnus's repertoire, but this is an insane game. Watch the engine tell me I played with 60% accuracy and that I was just completely worse throughout the whole game. But I feel like I played this perfectly. Like, that's probably naive of me to think. Like, I'm still not crazy better, by the way. Like, I'm up a pawn or two. But I feel like I played this perfectly. I feel like this was the perfect game. This might be the best game I've okay, let's like, let's just relax for a second, actually. I feel like I should just be playing c4, right? Like, why even? Oh my god, I've got 2 minutes. Okay, let's actually lock in because I'm very, very prone to just flagging like this. I should play like moves like h3. He's gonna play something like b5. I think I want to take no, I'm gonna take. If he takes like this, I'm gonna take like this. I could have checked, but then he had g6, but maybe I just had that. Maybe checking here was actually a little bit better. Okay, now let's just take. Let's not even think about it. We're up 3 pawns now, so... Oh, that's funny. He wants to do... Wait, he doesn't have back rank. He thought he had back rank. Oh my god, I played 91% accuracy, so I actually played... This is maybe my best Sicilian game from the white side ever. I just want to go through it really quickly. So I played all the correct theory. Up until here is like, I've looked at Magnus games that he plays knight b3, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he plays bishop e2. Although I'm pretty sure you can also play f3, right? Is this... Yeah, I've seen games where they play f3 and g4. Now, yeah, I was trying to like combine the 2 lines, so probably a little bit shouldn't have done that. But Castles, and I thought that f4 and my attack was just... It's kind of like... I've learned this from like Karpov, where like he'll have an attack like this, and like the engine will say, there's nothing. Like, you can't actually attack here. But it's just one side has lots of improvements to make and the other side doesn't. And I felt like in this position, I have lots of improvements to make and black really doesn't. So king h1, I play knight d4, I play bishop f3. Apparently you should be playing h3 there, but let's just go through the game and see if I played the attack right. Knight d5, takes. Bishop takes, not a brilliant, but bishop e7 is. Oh my god, what a move. Takes, wait, oh, you could have also just taken on f7. I didn't see that, but rook takes e7, check, and wow, what a game. Magnus would be proud of this one, I feel.
Game 9 presented an opportunity for redemption as my opponent played e4 and gave me the chance to have a half-decent game with e5. And since I wanted to show you guys a variety of full games in this video with openings Magnus commonly plays, you guys can sit back, relax, and enjoy the absolute spectacle.
You have to play the Giocco piano. Okay. Let's play knight f6, it's the most principled, and then we're just gonna castle and play d6, and we're just gonna play some chess and not worry about anything. Wow. Okay, takes here, like, I'm gonna take with the bishop. As long as you don't have some sacrifice and he takes here, and I think I should just be good now. There's no sacrifices, and if there is some positional squeeze with like c3 and b5 or something like this, I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm better at chess than you. I'm gonna defend that. Let's go ahead and get our king to safety really quickly. Yeah, that's kind of a blunder from me. Let's play h6 first. What? What is going on? Why are they playing weird moves? So I think I just go back. Let's just drop our knight back. I suppose there was the possibility of knight e6, but I didn't really like it. Just takes, and like, I don't know, there's like a knight getting in here maybe. Let's play d6 now, just opening up the bishop. I think they're just wasting a lot of moves is what I'm noticing. These like 2200s, 2100s are just wasting a whole lot of moves. Bishop e6 should be the move. If he takes, I just clog up this d5 square. I know that this is slightly unprincipled for e4, e5, like you probably shouldn't be playing bishop e6. And that's probably why he took it. But I think I'm just good enough to play it. Let's continue the position. Yeah, this is a good move, but I think we can just jump up anyway, right? Like, we're gonna take back with the pawn. If you allow pawns that deep in your territory, you know, I'm gonna play e5, you play this, I'm gonna play b6, and there's just gonna be no way into my position. Damn, is he really trying to trade off everything like this? That sucks. Here, there is no tempo to be won because of the check. But I'm just wondering, is this endgame winning? Magnus Carlsen would trade into this endgame, wouldn't he? He would say here. Thanks for the check, I'm gonna step out the way. Thanks for c4, I'm gonna play b6. Thanks for the rook going here. Now I go queen f5, and I'm gonna play rook f6, rook g6, and checkmate you. That's probably what he would say, so let's just go for it. Oh, do I have to worry about check here? This pawn is expendable, I don't really care about that. It's also just
suicide to be taking something like that. Wow. Is it really fine? This is the rook that was not doing anything. You've just given my bad rook a role in the position, and now your rooks have to play passively. Like, I'm gonna take here. Like, how, you gonna go back here with your queen? Yeah, he plays back, okay. I do like queen a8 though, just immediately adding pressure. Let's go queen a8, just adding pressure. Okay, I don't really care about that move. I think I blockade, right? We should just blockade here. Again, you can't trade off because I'm just gonna take this pawn. Okay, now he wants to kind of push, well, he can't push forward still. Let's just continue on with the position. I don't think I have any tricks to kind of win a rook with the check, but I do just have, yeah, I have check. And the idea is I want to replace the rook. So let's say king h2. I'm going to play takes, takes, takes. If you go here, I'm going to go here. So I think, you know, you don't get the luxury in this game unless your plan is queen g4. No, it's not. Well, now I just get this. I think I should start off with this. Let's start off by threatening checkmate. There's no checks on my king. I mean, at the very least, we can go and chase this pawn. Yeah, I'm thinking here takes, check here. It's very slow. It's so ridiculously slow. Okay, I think I'm winning this game just because I'm up the pawn. Let's go queen c4. And the idea is to play rook a2. And I think this game, unfortunately, you know, I want to go for a checkmate, but I think the game is just going to be won by grabbing this extra a pawn and starting, you know, I think I'll have to go back into a very defensive position first, actually, because my king side is just so weak. I mean, let's take. It's a free pawn. I don't really care about h5. Wow. There's no way you can get away with that. I think I'm just going to go rook a8. I at least have rook g8 now. Now rook f8 looks good. Let's play rook f8 for queen f7. We're also blocking this. And getting this queen out of my business makes it much easier to launch a counterattack whilst I'm already up material. And now I'm just forcing trades. Like, I mean, you can go here, I guess, but I'm just gonna go like, what, rook d8? And I'm gonna find a way to force your pieces off the board, right? Let's do it the easy way with c6. Let's do this. Rook takes? What? King takes? What are you, insane? Okay, I think I'm just winning. Let's like not be funny about it even. Let's go ahead and take. Oh, there is this check actually. But then I go king h8 and I'm threatening this. I've got 42 seconds. Let's go ahead and take. Defending this, attacking this, and also threatening queen g5 check. And we could probably trade down into this. I'm comfortable in this endgame. Let's check the king. Let's drop back really quickly. We can play g5 check. King g7. I want to play h5, not h5 actually. But we'll play check here. And getting the king up to f5 would be perfect. We're gonna get checked here. I mean, takes. If he allows me into this f5 square, I'll take it. He does. Let's pre-move the capture. Let's take here. Okay, this should just be an easy endgame. My editor will be speeding through all of this because it's quite boring to watch, actually. We can pre-move the rest of this mate, like so. Amazing. Okay, so we've won another game. I forget how many we're actually on right now, but I'll put it on screen right now. And let's get into the next game.
On the topic of spectacles, Game 10 had a lot in store for us too. The game started as another Rossalimo, but what was more interesting was the attack. Honestly, I think it's way funnier if I just show you guys my analysis of the game instead of the actual game. So here's that.
Oh my god, I have 5 seconds. How did I let this happen? Oh my god, it's mate. There's no way to stop it. Wow. Oh my god, we won. Let's game review that. This is, there was that Sicilian game that we had a little while ago. I got 91% accuracy. It was a really good game. This one, I don't think we got a good accuracy. Yeah, I got 76% accuracy in this one. The attack was actually all winning for me. Okay, queen e6 was obviously a blunder because you can just take the pawn. But like, oh god, it was only winning because my opponent just didn't find any moves. Okay, I think Magnus Carlsen. How did I get 75% accuracy here? They were just all bad moves. Rook G3, we got a brilliant. Oh my god, this was the worst game I've ever played. He had this, and it's a draw apparently. How is this a draw? Oh, because he has this. Wow, okay.
Now with that game in mind, we only need one more win to score 8.5 out of 14 and equal Magnus Carlsen's 2013 candidate score. But in my ongoing quest to show you guys a game with the Ruy Lopez, maybe the most candidates thing ever happened instead.
Ugh. You have got to be kidding me. Okay, well, the problem with this is that they're just gonna play the Stafford, aren't they? Like, they just are gonna play the Stafford, and this has just got nothing to do with Magnus Carlsen's repertoire because no Grandmaster is gonna be playing the Stafford. Let's go ahead and take. Maybe they will take, because Magnus definitely has some prep against... Ooh, hold on. Okay, we don't get a Stafford, we get a classical variation.
I won't burden you guys with watching a game played in the Petrov, even though it may be an opening Magnus is forced to play quite often. But just like Magnus would, I ended up forcing my opponent into an endgame on my terms.
Maybe he wants this, this, and this, but then I have G4. Maybe I don't. If he plays this, how interesting. What about knight E5? Takes, knight takes. I mean, there's this check also. This check looks inviting. I want to get my bishop active with this check, actually. I see no reason to not do this. Then maybe we could even play G4. That's a stupid move. That's like such a dumb move. It just, why does that work? Why does G4 actually work in this position? Like king over, G4. What about G6? Takes, takes. This feels better for white. Like, here, you have to go back, takes, rook takes, and then I'm gonna play this, and you go back, and I play this, G4. I just feel like G4 is the best move there, and you know, luckily we look like we might be able to, especially if G6, this might be an endgame that doesn't end in a draw, but yeah, this is the problem. He's got this move. There is potentially 95, like we don't have to be boring here. Do we have 95? If here takes, and that would feel very good for me. So 95, he'll probably have to take like this. I think 95 is the best move here. I'm also threatening this. I'm also threatening this. I'm also threatening this. And if he takes, I'm threatening this. And I'm threatening to take here and double the pawns. Like, there's just so much going on for me. And I'm also threatening this. Not really. That's not really a threat, I don't think, but we'll see. I think bishop takes f5 must be the best move, but I do wonder if I can get away with this. Okay, he takes. Wow. Am I missing something? Just takes. And you have to get off here. And then I take here, and maybe I go f4. Here, rook f1, and I'm playing for f5. Takes, takes. I'm doubling your pawns, but I've got pass pawn. Endgame looks good. This is how Magnus Carlsen would play it. I guarantee this is how Magnus Carlsen would play it. Getting a slight edge in the Petrov based on a little bit of a lazy move from his opponent. I think he would be bathing in a position like this. Okay, rook a6. How interesting. Okay, if I take and you take, doesn't actually look that good for me, does it? I have to play this, but it does. It actually does. The rook is very offside there. Like, let's say rook takes here, king c2, activating the king anyway. Let's say you take, and then you play king c8, and then I play rook d1, and then you play this. I play d7. This is just very good. I think that rook takes d5 is winning. I think he's miscalculated this. This just all looks very good for me. Maybe there's like, no, c6, I'm just gonna jump up. Here, I'm gonna take. There's no pressure on anything. I've got f4 always. King c2, try to bring this. Rook d1 looks very good. Got f4. I've just got everything a man could ask for in a position. And this just looks completely winning, right? I'm not up any pawns, but I've got the more advanced pawns. I've got the, your rooks could not be more split apart. I'm gonna play rook d1, threatening checkmate first. He's clearly trying to stop f4, but I might even have b4 this check. So maybe not. Probably have rook d4 here and takes. No, but there's probably rook d7 first. Rook d7, rook e4, f4, takes, check king up. No, I must be winning. Let's go rook d7. If he plays this, I just take. So I'm pretty sure I'm baiting rook f8. And the reason I wanted to do this was because I wanted him to waste a move like this. So now I can get d4. And after takes, my rook is already here. So in the case of something like king c8, maybe I can just play something like e6. Maybe I don't even want to do that, but I know that this is just a good move anyway. Okay, now f4 I thought. f4 takes. Yeah, I feel like f4 is just a very good move. Holding the more important pawn of the two and preparing to play takes. Now you can't take, you can check me. I could block, but I could also run, knowing that I'm gonna get to d7, and my rook would be more valuable there. And this is just endgame mastery, really. I mean, my king is gonna end up on b3. Do I even acknowledge this? Probably I should, right? You can't take because the pawn boomerangs back around to the defense of the rook. I don't know, everything's looking very good in this position. I would have to guess this is like a +2 position for white. Maybe one of the best moves is just to accept defeat and play rook c4 here. Okay, let's play rook d7. If he plays this, it's very depressing. And also, okay, now king b3, I'm prepared to play this. And this game is gonna end very soon. He's gonna play rook e2. He's gonna play rook c8, and then I'm gonna play f7. He's gonna play rook e2. I'm going to play, let's go e7. He's gonna play rook e2. I'm gonna play rook d8. Actually, then he has takes. Did not see that. So I might have to take on g7 first, actually. So rook e2 takes here first, and then support. Let's go here. If he goes here, I'm gonna take here and check. Actually, I still have to go for this variation. I've just realized. Okay, I'm kind of doing this slowly, doing this the hard way, but we do have f6, and we should be able to kind of wrap this game up pretty quickly. Okay, f6 now. We've got 2 passed pawns in the position. I can play rook g8 and go for this check next. That'll be my next plan. And, you know, there is really nothing in the position for black. He's trying to go after my pawn, but now the promotion square is kind of free. My opponent should resign in a second. Let's go check and make a queen. Pre-move f7 because it defends the rook as well. We don't have to worry about king d7, and my opponent resigns. Very nice game. Let's get on into the next one.
And with the conclusion of that game, we officially surpassed 2013 Magnus Carlsen's candidates record. But hey, let's see how far we can take this. In game 12, I would have gotten another typical e4, e5 game, but my opponent decided to play this.
We've got e4, e5. And this is not theory at all. Oh my god, I have no idea what to do here.
And yeah, not very fitting to put a game in this video against the goddamn McLeod attack, because I feel like there's a half chance Magnus doesn't even know this opening exists. Nonetheless, I ended up winning, taking our score up to 10 out of 12. Game 13 was not so kind to me though. After playing another Rossalimo in my quest for a Roy Lopez, I ended up getting my knight trapped in what was otherwise a very amateurish game from me.
Wow, I think I might have to resign. This is just losing. I've trapped my knights on e7. Okay, this is like the one Sicilian variation I didn't prep, and we're gonna have to resign. Okay, good game.
And finally, in game 14, we played against the London system, and after what was always going to be a pretty boring game, I channeled my inner Magnus Carlsen to spring forward this attack.
If I take here, he's gonna take here, which is not great. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to play this. And then I'm going to... I could play rook b8. So rook b8, there's going to be rook here. Don't like that. So maybe I play this, this, and this again. It's bishop e2. No, bishop e2 doesn't work surely because of this here and check, right? I'm going to play it. Rook takes f3. Magnus Carlsen would play it. I'm going to play it. Sacrifice the rook, and we're getting into the position. The light squares are weak. You've abandoned your child. Let's go rook takes f3. The threat is rook here or bishop here. Here we go check, 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 and I must be better. I'm down the exchange in this position, but I'm gonna pick up. I at least have a draw somewhere. So maybe you have to go like here. King h2, I'm not sure. Wow, that really doesn't work. That definitely just does not work at all. But I can go here now, and I don't care about this. I'm gonna go here. Bishop e4, I just do not care. Do not care about your position. I'm gonna play rook takes g3. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this here. Like, check, and I don't see, you're at least gonna lose your queen, right? The threat is there's a line in there that I win the queen. I'm 100% sure of it because the queen has no defense and I'm just gonna skewer it. So you have to do something. If this takes here, here, ooh, I can't play that. That's a good move. Takes here, here. What about knight f5? Knight f5 here, takes here. I think knight f5 has to be the continuation. There's just no other move I can play. Knight f5, we have to keep continuing into the position. Bishop g2, what can we play? Takes here, here. If you take, I check. If you go here, I check and it's mate. No, it's not, I win the queen. And this feels like it should be enough. I'm grabbing so many pawns. Yeah, that should be enough for an endgame. Yeah, I think I should be able to just grab this, this, and this, unless there's an intermezzo that I'm missing. Here, here, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna win the game. Here, if he goes here, I'm gonna go takes. Can't take back. Let's take, wow. And he's allowing this? I'm just gonna take here now, and this is just devastating. Rook takes g3, I think he missed this, and wow, we're gonna beat the 2400 in the final game. In the final game with Magnus Carlsen's Repertoire. Wow, this is such a cool game as well. Okay, he's taking, but now I get takes here, and I get this. Or do I just ignore it? That would be funny too. Queen f5 is the ultimate disrespect move, bro. That is just disrespectful. Like, we could play his games, but we're down the exchange. We could go here, like, queen f5, bro. There is rook here, but then I played check. But yeah, okay, now I just go here. Yeah, but this is not gonna work. Ooh, do I have a mate? Let's throw in the check first. Oh, wow, I can play rook g4. Rook g4 is nasty. There's a checkmate. Wait, is it checkmate? Gotta be mate somehow. There's no way it's not. Yeah, checkmate there. What am I talking about? Okay, so we can't actually take, and now I'm threatening check here and just check for checkmate, right? So I'm now threatening another checkmate. Wow, rook g4 is tough to find. I was kind of tunnel visioned in on the whole thing. Surely that's winning also, but okay, now I have to play this. Oh, that's so annoying. Played check. I actually don't know how to get out of this. Like, I'm thinking h5. If check, I go here. Check here. And I'm like holding f7. Check here takes. There's gonna be some perpetual. Maybe I just perpetual him. I just don't see it. Oh, wait. Now he's giving me something. Okay, I'm just gonna go for perpetual. There's some mate in there that I couldn't find. That's so depressing, but I just don't have the time to think.
And with all 14 games out the way, we ended up on a very respectable 11 out of 14 points, smashing Magnus Carlsen's 2013 candidates record of 8.5 out of 14. So I think it's pretty safe to say Magnus Carlsen's repertoire is pretty good, and not to mention it's also very fun. Let me know in the comments below whose repertoire you would like me to try out next. It could be a current top-level grandmaster like Fabiano Caruana, or maybe an older grandmaster like Mikhail Tal. Whatever the top comment is on this video is the repertoire that we'll try out next. But apart from that, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next one.